Back in the early days when we had a slow computer, the go-to saying was usually, "You don't have enough RAM," or maybe, "You downloaded too much shit, dude! You need to reformat your PC!" Yeah, reformatting would work for a good while, but then it would start slowing down again and you're back to square one. Little did we know that by far most of the issues with slower machines stem from the mechanical hard drive and its need to seek its little needle on platters to retrieve or write data that we need. So then it's simple, right? Everyone should just go and upgrade to an SSD and then we will achieve world peace. Yeah, no, it's not that easy, you know? There's just too much shit getting in the way of achieving world peace, and not everyone can afford an SSD, especially if you're looking for something with a decent amount of size. And so like magic, I stumbled upon an interesting SSD, one that was 640 gigabytes in size, and it only cost me $110 US. This is the story of that SSD. But first, a quick unbox. Wait, what? Do we even need an unboxing of an SSD? Really? Come on guys, it's just a bloody drive in a box and some manuals. You know, nothing to see here, so let's move on to more important things. And in case you haven't caught on to it already, I'm reviewing the colorful SL500 SSD and mine is the 640GB variant. It uses the Silicon Motion SMI SM2258XT controller that is also used by Silicon Power, Western Digital, and Mushkin. Has a rating of 150 terabytes written and a mean time between failure of 1.5 million hours, putting it on par with an 850 EVO. It doesn't have the highest numbers at 530 read and 450 write for sequential, but it makes up for it with an asking price of $110 US. Yep, $110 US for a 640GB SSD. At the moment, that makes this SSD cheaper than the cheapest big name 512GB SSD with more storage size to boot. You know, no pun intended. You might be wondering why it's some weird number like 640GB as well, which is a weird in between of 512 and 750, and that's because they're actually using Intel's 3D TLC NAND flash, which touts excellent reliability, durability, and performance. Each NAND die stores a massive 48GB and there's 16 of them to make up the 640GB of total space. It comes with features like Smart, Trim, Dev Sleep, and NCQ, and in case you're worried about it, it has a 3-year warranty. SSDs for the most part aren't meant to win any beauty contests, and Colorful maybe knows this, because this SSD doesn't have the most flattering of designs. I mean, it's no ugly duckling, but we've all probably seen prettier SSDs to flaunt. Doesn't matter though, we're not here for the looks, we're here for fast storage on the cheap. So let's get it hooked up and see if it delivers on that premise. That means it's benchmark time, so I fire up my usual slew of benchmarks like Atto, Crystal Dismark, and AS SSD. The closest thing that I have that I can compare this SSD to is my Samsung 840 EVO, and this is how they stack up side by side. So, won't win any comparison benchmarks, of course. But how well does it perform as a cheap, fast storage solution to replace a mechanical hard drive? Well, I cloned an image of the disk onto the 3 hard drives and ran Mass360 boot analyzer on them, and the results? Obviously faster than a mechanical hard drive, and honestly not that far off from a full-fledged performance SSD. The same could be said for game launch and load times, where the SL500 proved great as an affordable upgrade from a mechanical hard drive.
Eliminate all hostiles.
there's not much else to talk about, so let's head into the conclusion time. Understand that this SSD isn't meant to run with the fastest out there even in the SATA space, but rather gives you the option of having much more fast storage at a lower and more affordable price. And in the end, if real-world results are indicative of what you get with this SSD, then you're looking at maybe 3 seconds more at most compared to competing brands when it comes to boot times and load times. Well, everything else, I'm willing to bet to say that you'd be hard-pressed to tell the difference in a blind speed test, so highly recommended. I brought in this SSD partly for a review, but partly also as a gift to upgrade a friend's desktop, one that I featured here on the channel as a build log which only had a mechanical hard drive because of his budget constraints. It's a functional gift from me to him, as I strongly feel that no one should be stuck using a mechanical hard drive in this day and age. Hopefully he likes it. Hope you guys enjoyed this review. If you did, give it a like. If you didn't, then well, give it a dislike. Drop a comment down below. Make sure you subscribe and click the bell icon to get notified for when new videos go live. My name is Yang, aka Tech Rodent, and I'll catch you guys in the next one.